Amber Dickinson, and I'm from Blunt's Creek, North Carolina. I've been a member of the Southside FFA chapter since I was a freshman in high school. I'm currently a senior, and I'm serving as the 2022-2023 chapter president. I've served on the officer team for 3 years, competed in the Creed-speaking CDE, and I'm the 2022 State Star in Ag Placement. For my future plans, I plan to attend NC State and to major in agribusiness. My SAE consists of teaching horseback riding lessons, summer camps, and barn management skills. I began riding horses and taking lessons when I was just 8 years old at Little Fork Ranch in Ernle, North Carolina. Flash forward to now, and I'm still a student at 18, and I've progressed enough to become an instructor and barn manager. I have remained a student at Little Fork Ranch for my entire riding career under my trainer, Camry Colley. She taught me everything I know and then helped me learn how to share that knowledge with the kids just like myself through teaching. I began teaching lessons when I was 13 years old to young beginner children, and I was only teaching the basics of horse handling, riding, and caretaking. As I continued to learn from my trainer, I was able to take on more intermediate students and progress in my teaching SAE. I began taking horseback riding lessons when I was about 8 years old, and I was one of my trainer's very first students. I think I was like the third or fourth one. And I've been taking lessons for about 5 or 6 years, so I was about 12 or 13, and being one of her older students, I began helping her with the younger ones, like tacking them up before their lessons and helping them getting on and adjusting their stirrups. And then I'd go back in the barn and she would teach the lessons herself. Well, after a while, I got pretty good at that, so she offered me a job teaching lessons alongside her so she could up the number of students in each lesson, which helped her business make more money and also gave me tons of experience. One of the many challenges that came with my SAE was a certain student that came to me. I had only been teaching for like 6 or 7 months at this point. I was pretty comfortable with it, but I wasn't super great at it yet. And I had this student come to me, and she was absolutely terrified of horses. I never taught a student that was scared of them at this point in time because I hadn't been teaching that long. And it was a pretty big step for me in my teaching career because I had to learn how to teach someone that was afraid of horses, not someone that was excited. I had to slow down and learn to teach at her pace instead of the only pace I'd known how to do at that point in time. One significant thing I've learned within my SAE was how to teach very different people. I had to learn how to teach adults, which was a pretty big struggle for me because I began teaching when I was really young. 12-year-old me learning how to teach a 35-year-old mom was a little bit of a struggle because I didn't want to overstep my boundaries being a child compared to her, and she was still somebody I had to respect, but somebody that also knew less than me about the subject we were talking about. I also had to figure out how to teach really, really young children, as young as 5 and 6 years old. They don't have a very long attention span at that point, and I had to learn how to keep them interested and somehow get them to listen to me without abusing my power over them because they didn't know me and I was pretty close to their age, so I had to learn how to have a mutual respect for people younger than me. I believe my SAE will help me in my future career because it gave me a lot of communication skills which can be used throughout the rest of my life, which I picked up from having to talk to people with various backgrounds and some of them very different from myself. I also had to learn how to keep my cool and still have a respectful conversation with somebody who made me mad or disagreed with what I was saying or even just didn't understand, and I had to learn not to get frustrated when I was repeating myself, but to explain it differently on a level they could understand. What I would tell other students to help them get interested in working with an SAE is to pick something that you're passionate about. Your SAE is not a short-term project, it's a long-term one, and you want to enjoy those few years because you won't ever get to do them again. My SAE helped me grow as a person, and it gave me skills that I'll get to carry with me throughout the rest of my future career and probably my entire life.